Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations. So now let's go ahead and continue on with the biome indexes. Now that we're done with the generators, you'll see here that we have the child asset. You'll also notice that the children are no longer spawning on the cliff sides, and and it's just the transform graph. You can open it up, take a look, and I went ahead and added this normal to density and a density filter so it keeps things from spawning where they shouldn't. If you're not wanting them to spawn here in the landscape layer as well, you would do that math right here. That way it removes it. Um, Again, this is just an example, so I didn't go all out with this, but I will be creating in the future a whole bunch of pre-made graphs and everything for everyone to utilize. All right, so let's jump out of the seedling here. Debug options. This is very important to understand. Um, right now, debug color does not work. Um, I want to be able to have a debug color and it would be under the characterizations where you would turn it on, but then would everything within it assign it a box with the color of whatever we chose here. That is an addition that I will be making in the future to help better isolate and see how many of everything is actually spawning, because a lot of stuff does get purged as it does its calculations. So here in isolate, if I just select isolate, then it is going to remove everything that does not have isolate checkmarked and only show us those. So as you can see, even though we only have this set at 0.2 for the weight, there's a bunch of them. And sometimes it's not what you intended. Um, because this is at a 1, so we should be seeing a bunch of those. And then this other one is also at a 1. And sometimes that's just confusing as to why it's happening. And the biggest reason it's happening is because of all the children. So they exclude the children will count towards excluding the other stuff. So making sure that everything is in a specific order is generally important. Another option here is we can prune. So if I go ahead and I check mark this, we should see several of these disappear. Okay, we did see a few disappear, but they are doing it based off of this. So let's go ahead and we will also increase the bounds to 0.3 and 0.3. Hit enter. Let that do its thing. We're also going to go into the seedlings here. Pruning options. We're going to make this a 0.8 and 0.8. Get rid of a bunch of these children. Let everything generate back up. As you can see, now we have significantly fewer children. So it's really about playing with what you want, but you can also see that when I turn off the isolate, we're going to have a bunch more of the other trees. And again, that is exactly why we have this set up, so that you can mess around with everything and get everything set up exactly how you want it. The next one is show bounds. That's very important when you're trying to figure out why something isn't spawning, or why, you know, it's just a very good visual look. So if I check mark this, you're going to see boxes show up around these trees. As you can see here, there's boxes here. And this is what I'm adjusting in the bounds multiplier for index pruning. 0.3, 0.3, and 1. I left that at 1 so that it's at the top here. 0.3, 0.3 so that it keeps things from getting too close, but will allow things to still spawn relatively close in comparison to if everything was out 1 and 1. So yeah, that's the reason for that. And that's probably, yeah, all of these are at 1 and 1. So if I change this to 0.3 and 0.3, we will see even more trees showing up. And that's a 0.5, 0.5. So now our density is coming back as it's filling up with more of the other trees. So that is why we have these debugs and why we'll have the color one in the future. That way we can see where everything is at and how everything is working so that you have everything spawning and looking as nice as you would like.